Elise, it's good to see you again. How you been since our last session?
Good. I've been doing well. Just a few things here and there, but trying to push along.
Well, I know last time we talked about some anxiety you were experiencing. How is that going?
Yes, I am still getting anxious out of the blue. I just feel like it's happening. I don't know. I just can't tell when it like what's leading to the anxiety, but I am feeling it for sure.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it for the last part of our meeting last time. And I remember we talked about maybe talking about some techniques today, learning about anxiety, actually what it is, and some education about it. Remember we talked about a little bit about psychotherapy. And
Yes,
is that something you're still interested in for today?
definitely. I really just want to understand where this anxiety is coming from or how it works or what's going on. Yeah.
Well, I think learning about anxiety and how it works, it can help you to give you the tools, right? But to learn how to deal with it. Okay. And so thank you for addressing this issue. And well, listen, anxiety is actually a normal and healthy emotion, right? It's kind of like an alarm to our body system, right? It's designed to protect us from danger, so it's not always bad. But when it gets out of hand, well, yeah, that's when it can get um, when we worry too much. Okay, so let me give you an example, right? Let's say you're driving, and all of a sudden you see a car coming head on towards you, and I mean your body's gonna instantly react, right? Maybe you're gonna feel your heart racing. Maybe you're gonna tense up, right? Grab the wheel really hard, and maybe you're gonna swerve, out of the way, right? And that anxiety doing its job. It's trying to keep you safe, right? It's trying to avoid that accident, right? But sometimes that alarm goes, or I should say, becomes too sensitive, right? It goes off for anything and for everything, right? Kind of like think of it as a defective smoke detector, okay?
Mm.
Right? So I don't know if it has happened to you, but in the past, in my older home, there was one of my smoke detectors was a little faulty, and even if I put a toast and the toast was burning or getting extra toasted, the alarm will go off, right? So I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
making sense right now, but
Yes. No, that makes perfect sense. I feel like I get it, and I when the fire alarm is going off without needing to go off. Okay.
I mean that's right. I mean it's just your body trying to protect you, but sometimes it's overreacting per se, right? So understanding how this helps maybe can help you so you can respond differently when it happens. Okay. So
Okay.
so let's so let's talk about the anxiety cycle. That's what I like to call it, right? Kind of like a circle, right?
Hmm.
And it starts with a trigger, right? Something that makes you uneasy or worry.
Okay.
And then it becomes a thought, and something bad is going to happen. And then your body starts to react. Like I said before, heart racing, you feel tense, maybe it's affecting your breathing, right? And when this happens, right, your brain starts to wonder, am I in danger? What do I need to do to avoid this danger, right? So the brain jumps into the avoidance cycle. Not a cycle, but step and it could be leaving a situation. It could be canceling a plan or even seeking reassurance. And that's what the brain is going to do to try to protect it, right? It's kind of like to give you a relief, but unfortunately, this relief is not permanent, it's temporary, right? But you might think, or we might think, okay, it's actually good. But actually, if we allow it to take over us, instead of helping us heal the anxiety, it's going to reinforce it and then the anxiety is going to come back even stronger because we're feeding our brain with those signals. Okay, so and am I explaining? Is this
That
making
makes, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. That is totally me. anytime I have to do a presentation, I get so anxious that I'm like, no, I don't want to do it, or I tell my coworker to do it, so I avoid doing it. And then like the next time they ask me for a presentation, I get even more anxious because they're asking me again. So that is totally me. What you describe is me.
Hey, welcome to the club, right? Presentations can be, they can be daunting, right? Even
Yeah.
even when you know the material, even when you feel confident, it's something that always affects most people, getting in front of people and thinking they're going to judge you or whatnot, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, and that's a great example. Yeah. So let's talk about um a little example, right? Can you think of a time? I mean, you mentioned the presentation, but can you think of another time when your alarm system went off, per se?
Hmm. Yeah, last week I needed to go to my friends, like a group of friends we were going to get together. And I was just driving and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to see my friends I haven't seen for a long time. And I just started feeling dizzy. I kind of felt sick to my stomach. I started panicking for no reason. I was just so anxious that I was going to see my friends. And it's not like we haven't seen for a long, long time. I mean, it's been like a month since the last time we saw each other. So I definitely got super panicky for no reason.
Okay. And when you notice the sensations, the dizziness, the panic, I mean, what was going through your thoughts? What were you thinking in that moment, just when you were feeling dizzy and panicky?
I was feeling like something's wrong with me. I feel like I'm going to lose control and I'm just not feeling myself. So I definitely felt out of control.
And that's such a common thought, right? About when we're feeling anxious. And that's our brain thinking that we are in danger, right? So,
Mm.
so what happened next? What did you do next? You said when you felt this.
Well, when I felt like I was getting sick, I was sick to my stomach, I was dizzy, I decided to pull over. I pull over and I just sat in my car and I was trying to calm down.
I, I mean, makes total sense, right? I mean, you're trying to feel safe. You didn't feel safe driving. You're having all these symptoms. I mean, it's great. I'm glad that you pull over, right? You told your brain, or maybe your brain told you, or you told your brain that this is dangerous. I need to get out of this situation. Um, but wouldn't you think that maybe the next time you drive, your alarm might go off sooner? So I mean, because we're feeding our brain these signals, right? I don't feel
Yeah.
safe. I'm driving, I don't feel safe. I'm gonna pull over.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely would happen because I was feeling uneasy to go with my friends. So next time, I'm driving and just anywhere, it doesn't even have to be my friends. I may feel like out of control again.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
And great. I mean, good job at noticing. And you're completely right. It could become a pattern, right? And not just when driving, but any other situation, right? And but what do you think about if we can try out some coping skills, right, to help your body learn that is safe, driving is safe, right? And maybe we can try to come up with something that can help you, okay? And because I mean, anxiety can take a lot of energy from you, right? Okay. So maybe next time maybe we can think about breathing exercises, okay?
I would
And,
like that.
and so maybe breathing exercises we can focus on that, and that's gonna give you some skills, right, to help you um, overcome the anxiety.
I love it. I like that. We can do that next time. Thank you so much.
He said, "Well, no, thank you for making it today, and for being so open with me, and well, and we'll meet next time then."
Okay.